Hello friends, welcome back. I'm Angela Imagination and I'm so glad that you are here to see the activities that I have planned for this book. Do Not Open This Book by Michaela Muntean. I had so much fun reading it to you, and now I'm going to share some activities that you can do, we can do together, and you can do at home. First of all, the first activity has to do with something we found in our basket last time. Do you remember this notebook? Yes, it had blank pages, and we said that every author, every person who wanted to write stories and books and things like that needed a place to write their ideas and their special words and their stories. So I think every one of you need to get a special notebook. It doesn't have to look like this. You might want this kind of notebook, and you can just write in it. But see, it has the kind of spiral edge. You might want to use this kind of notebook. It has a pocket here, but it also has pages. And this is the kind that you open and shut, but you have to be very careful about your fingers. Why, you might even want to use a book that has no lines. You don't have to have lines when you're first writing a story. So you may want this. That way too, you'll have a place to make some pictures and have some words, some storyline below it. There are all different ways you can do it, but it would make Mrs. Imagination so happy if you had your own writer's notebook, because I'm going to be referring to a writer's notebook in every other book that we read together. And we'll make lists, or we'll write down ideas. We'll write down things that will help us become better writers. In fact, the first thing I want you to do when you get a writer's notebook is to make a page that says IDEAS. Ideas. Because we need to write down some ideas that you might have. Just different kinds of stories you might want to write, or different kinds of characters you want to have. Whatever you want to write in here is great. So get your own writer's notebook, okay? That's activity number 1. Now, for activity number 2, we're going to do something with some of this blank paper that I have right here. Have you ever noticed signs around town or in buildings that you go? Maybe where you go to the doctor or just the bank or any place, and sometimes they'll have these words. Do not touch. You know how our book said, do not open this book? And do you remember the little pig character said, if you saw a sign that said, do not open this door, would you open this door? No, you wouldn't. You would at least knock. When you see a sign that says, do not touch, what do you think that's talking about? It could mean that there's wet paint and you don't want to touch that. It could just mean that there are breakable items, things that if you touch them, they might fall and break, so you can't touch. But you know, sometimes there are signs that don't have words. Let me show you one. This is going to mean the same thing as do not touch. I'm not an artist. Okay, this is a sign. This is supposed to be a finger, like you're saying a touch, like this. Okay, does it kind of look like that? See how I've drawn the little knuckles? I could have made the hand go down. We could do that real quick. Let's see if we can do that. Here, okay, so there's the hand. So there's a hand and it's showing a finger that's touching, but we want it to say do not touch. So do you know what we do? We draw a line like that. That means do not touch. Can you think of any signs that you could create? You might want to put a sign on your door that says do not enter. Well, mommies and daddies can. I know what I need to make a sign for. Let me show you the sign I need to make. I'm going to make one with words, but I'm going to draw it on the red circle. And I'm going to put the words, I'm going to try to write so you can see me, sugary snacks. You see, Mrs. Imagination loves sugary snacks. I like sweet things like cookies. Yeah, I do. But I need to not eat so many, so I need the sign to say that. And I need to put it on my pantry door or on my refrigerator door so I don't get the ice cream. And that's the kind of sign I could make. Why don't you think of some ideas of some signs that you could make around to put around the house? Just be kind, okay? Okay, the last activity I have for you today is sign language. I really like sign language. There is a system of moving hands that people who cannot hear, they are deaf, and because they can't hear, they have a hard time making the sounds come out of their mouth that sound like words we know. They can't hear what words sound like, so it's harder for them to speak them. Do you know, instead of that, they use their hands. So they use their hands to point to themselves if they mean me or I, and father, mother. Those are signs, but I'm going to show you the American Sign Language sign for not. Since that's in the name of our book, do not open this book. Let's learn how to do not. All right, first of all, you're gonna fold your hand like this, see? Then you're gonna point your thumb out just a little bit like this, okay? And you're gonna put it under your chin, like so, and go. You see how I did that? I just flicked it a little bit. That means not. So, you could tell someone, I am not going to the doctor. Are you going to the doctor, someone can ask? That would mean I am not. Or you could actually tell someone, maybe a brother or sister who is running through the house, oh, and you know that it's not allowed to run in the house, you could say, Well, I'll have to stand up to show you this one. I need my chair. Okay, you could say, and that means do not run. Maybe there's something, some vegetable that, or some meat, just some food that your mom or dad have cooked for dinner and it's not your favorite. And so maybe you could say, let me do that again. I am not going to eat that. Now we would have to ask, is it okay if I do not eat that? They're just fun things you can do. I like sign language. To me, it's interesting, and you can say things without ever speaking. I'm not talking. I don't know if that's the way you make talking with American Sign Language, but it worked for me. Well, you know, there are other ways that we can say things without speaking. Like if you cross your arms like this, that kind of means not, doesn't it? It kind of means no, I don't want that, or no. Or what if you cover your eyes and shake your head? That might mean I do not want to see that. If you do that just in front of somebody who's holding something for you, you may be saying, I do not want that, or I don't want to play with that now. No. You see, there are a lot of ways we use our body, our hands especially, and our faces to say things without ever speaking. Wow. I hope you enjoyed these activities today. I've had such a delightful time sharing them with you. And it's all because we read a picture book. Until I see you again, which I hope is soon, see ya.